Hello and welcome to this demo for the project budget tracker. This is actually a remake of an old product which we had in the store. This is the new version. It's been completely remade. It serves the same purpose as the old one, but let me run through with you how it works. First of all, you've got your business name locked in there. You can select your currency symbol. So if you're in the UK, obviously pounds or wherever you might be, you can select your currency symbol. It'll change the rest of the spreadsheet. And you can put in the project name. So put in the name of the project that you're currently running. That is all you need to do on the setup tabs. There are some links down here to see how to keep the spreadsheet working, i.e. if you're gonna how not to ruin it, things like that, some demo video links, that type of thing. But once you set up those two, the project name and the currency symbol, you can go across to your categories and budgets. So what you do here, name your categories, type your different categories in. Don't have any duplicate category names, but you can type in categories. You've got down to 40, so we've got 30 different categories you can categorize. Now, when I say categories, what I mean is if you're buying 10 items and they're all in one, if you're buying hundreds and hundreds of items in this project, then you can only name up to 30 categories. So be careful how you categorize the items so that you don't run out of space. Um, if you're only buying 20 items, then you can actually itemize it. That's why it says item name or category. If you've got fewer than 30 items or fewer, you can actually just list all the different items. Then when you purchase that item, you've got a far more accurate report because each item is actually against each expense for that exact same item. Whereas obviously if you've got more than 30 items and you categorize, then you're not, if you part way through a project, you don't really know what's still to come because you might have purchased a lot of the items in that category. You may have purchased a few, but as I said, if you've got more than 30 and categorize them, you can put a category description down here. That is really just to show you exactly what's in each of those categories. And then put in a budget amount. So you put in a budget value for each of those different categories, the amount that you can actually spend on each of those. It'll give you the total at the top. This finish column is merely when you've purchased, if you've listed items, when you've purchased that item, check it off. If you listed categories, when you finish buying everything from that category, just select it as finished. All that does is it just shows on the report that you've actually completed that category and you purchased everything. So whatever figure you're seeing is a final figure. Also, when you select the tick symbol in order to say that that's actually complete, then it'll remove it from the drop-down list on your expenses, which I will show you in a minute. And as you can see there, it also says that that's actually finished. So you check that off when you finished, and everything else. All of these things will update. You've got your spend to date, your remaining on your budget, the result, i.e. active in budget, and you can see accounts here of how many each, and so on and so forth. There's the total of your spend to date, and there's the total of your remaining on your budget. So those will all update as you go along. Simply just categorize everything and put in the budget amount and check it off when it's finished. Then you go to expenses, put in the date. When you select it, what it'll do is it'll give you today's date at the top, and then it'll give you the week that you're currently in, all the dates of the week below. Select which one you want to use. If you're backdating things from a while ago that you forgot to put in, you can just type in a date and override it and just click enter and say, yes, that's correct, and override the date. Descriptions, you can put in any description there of the item that you purchased, and then just select what category it's in. So just select from the drop-down list one of the categories that you've listed on your categories and budget. And your supplier, we'll get to in a second. You're going to have a supplier list. You can select who the supplier is as well, and you can put in the price that you paid. What that will do is it'll check up that particular category that you selected and show you where you are according to the budget. And as you select that category, it'll pull up a category description here just so that you can see that you've got the right category. It says this is what you need to fill in as well. Your project is active. While you're busy with the project, have it as active. Before you start, you can label it as not started. And once it's finished, just change. When you've finished, i.e. you've purchased everything that you want to purchase and you've completed this project, then just change it to complete. Again, that's just for the report so you can see where you are in the project. That total is your total price spent, and that'll update as you go along. Then you've got your suppliers, and that's very straightforward. Simply put in supplier and a supplier description. This is just for you so that you know it reminds you who these suppliers are. But don't put any duplicate names of suppliers down. In fact, don't put any duplicate category names as well. But don't put any duplicate supplier names down. And you can sort using this arrow here, so you can sort them in alphabetical order if you want to, so that they're easier to find when you on your drop-down list. Whatever uh, order they appear here, as well as the categories. That's the same order that they'll appear in these drop-down lists when you select them, so you can sort them on these two pages. Total purchase per supplier, number of purchases per supplier. Here you've got percentages, so in other words, this one's 26% of the total, so this will always equal up to 100% because you've got your the percentages of each supplier of what you've spent with them. So those are the input pages, fairly straightforward, nothing too complicated. I think possibly simpler than the last one, but your project report is a lot more detailed than the last, and it gives you all your summaries here. So you can see the project status, active, budgeted, total spent, current available on budget. You can see how many of what percentage of the categories are finished, so 0 or 5%. That's why it's important to check them off as finished when you finish each category. You can see where you are. Percentage of budget spent, all expenses assigned to a category, so you can go yes. That will show you an error if you've maybe assigned a category and haven't assigned an expense and haven't categorized it. Then you've got your finished tasks and active tasks. How many are there in budget, over budget, so and how many are unused so far. You can see that the count there, the numbers telling up. Here you can see each one categorized. They're all active at the moment. When they're finished, they'll go dark green. But you can see how each category, your expense, relates to the budget, that you've got those little red dots. Here you can see your overall expense compared to the overall budget. So far we've got that budget to spend. As you spend, you'll watch that blue line grow. If you go over budget, it'll go red, and you'll see that you've gone over budget. Here you can see your top 10 suppliers, amount spent, and the percentage. And here you can see your top 15 categories. So your top 15 categories, if you've listed more categories, the other smaller ones will all be lumped together. You've just got your top 15, which were based on your budget size. It'll show you your budget amount spent, percentage of budget used, and then whether they're finished or not, just so you can get an idea of where you are in the project. But as I said, that graph will show you a lot more information in graphical form. So that is the report that it generates, which you can then save as a PDF or whatever. So if you're working for someone, you can send them this report so they can see exactly where you are with the budget. So yeah, I think that's all that we really need to state. One thing I will say is if you want to remove any data, if you watch this, if you click on the link at the bottom, how to keep your spreadsheet working, don't move any data, don't delete any data. All you want to do if you want to remove any data is right click, just say clear contents, and then just resort things. If you want to copy and paste data into the spreadsheet, whether it's from an external spreadsheet or internal, you want to highlight the data, right click, copy, and when you go to paste, you don't want to use normal paste, that will ruin your spreadsheet. You want to use paste values. Paste values means that it just pastes a value and it doesn't actually paste all the formatting and everything else that's going on. And I think that's it. That would be everything I think that you need to know about the spreadsheet, and I hope that that's helpful to you, and I wish you all the best with your projects going forward. Thank you and goodbye.